Political analyst and senior vice president of Randall Communications, Kevin Riggs, joins us.
Well, Kevin, it has been a divisive political year, and now that could literally come true as California voters will be asked this fall to divide the state into three. It looks like it's coming. So what's kind of the details on this?
Well, and it could happen, but only, frankly, if voters went to the polls in November in an absolute fury. And even then, you'd see a lot of obstacles to the idea. This latest plan is being pushed, Teo, by Silicon Valley investor Timothy Draper. He is the same guy who backed a measure back in 2014 that obviously failed to split the state into 6 parts. He says that a smaller number of states would mean more accountability and lower taxes. But there are a lot of questions about how this could happen. First of all, here's what you would have to see happen. A majority of voters would have to say yes in November. Then both houses of the legislature would have to agree, and then Congress would have to give its okay, and you have to ask why Congress would even do that. There also would be a number of lawsuits along the way. So as the old pop song goes, breaking up is hard to do. Difficult to see how this idea is going to get a lot of political traction this year.
We'd have a long ways to go. Okay, so at the Capitol today, Budget Committee votes are scheduled for a new state budget deal. How different is this final Jerry Brown budget from his first one?
Well, good question. Quite a bit different. When Jerry Brown returned to the governorship back in 2011 after a 28-year absence, he inherited a $25 billion shortfall from predecessor Arnold Schwarzenegger. They had to patch that with higher taxes and deep spending cuts. So the next governor, who takes over in January, will have a much easier time. This current budget deal is balanced on paper, and it includes a whopping $15 billion in emergency reserves. Of course, Brown was able to do that in part due to a favorable economy, but also by being the miser who told lawmakers no to many of their spending requests. In any case, the legislature is expected to pass this spending plan tomorrow. That would come just one day before the state constitutional deadline.
And Kevin, we understand there's extra money in the budget to help victims of the East Area Rapist case?
Yeah, this is interesting. There is a trailer bill, a companion bill to the legislature, to the budget, that would actually allow the State Victims Compensation Board to give money to victims of the East Area Rapist, the Golden State Killer, as long as those victims come forward before the end of 2019. We understand there have been an increasing number of victims that have been coming forward since the arrest of Joseph DeAngelo, many of them responding to a tip line set up by Sacramento County. The amount of compensation would depend on the circumstances of each victim, but once again, another example of how the East Area Rapist affecting California and Sacramento.
All right, thank you so much, Kevin. Kevin writes political blog. Tomorrow's Riggs Report will be posted at midnight, and you can read it on the KCRA3 app.